this is Nerva.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are doing our top 10 underrated games.
Yes.
So basically completely different from last week.
Yeah.
The complete switcheroo. This time we're talking about games that we enjoy that you might not heard of, might not have played, or might have thought about them, heard about them, put them in the back of your mind, and then never think about them again.
Yeah, and we like these quite much, and we think this should be ranked higher, and hope that you can find some here that you'll check out.
Yeah, so how did we make this list this time?
We tried to keep it to not the newest games, because some of the newer games are kind of low because they're new. So not from 2019, and preferably not from 2018 either. Yeah, and we also try to keep it below the 1,000 in ranking.
Yeah,
on Borgen
or
Geek.
900, 1,000, like that
Yes.
is so not in the top 500 because that wouldn't be underrated. Even though like I would think like, oh, my favorite game is on number 400, still really really high. So like a 900 plus is it's a lower. It's not really super low but in your thousands it's starting to get lower.
Yeah.
So that's what we thought to do. Probably we're gonna cheat a couple of times, probably with the 2018 rule. I know I'm gonna do that, but so that's a spoiler. You might guess the game now. Okay, if you do that, you are really good at reading the future. So yeah, that's it. We really just want to do a positive video about games that we enjoy. So should we begin?
Yes, I think we should.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. My number 10 is Kalimala. And this is number 1197 on Board Game Geek.
Almost 1,200.
Yes, and the reason I like this game is that it plays in about an hour.
Yes.
And you can play it with 5 people. And it's quite a lot of game, and it's fun in that amount of time. So it's an action selection game. You have this grid of actions, and you place one of your discs between 2 action spaces, and you do both. And if another one places that disc after yours, that person goes, and then you go again. So it's like this little timing thing. And you're also competing to do best on these random scorings that trigger in the course of the game. Yeah, so I like Kalimala.
Yeah, so you have 15 scorings, which triggers when there's 4 discs on top of each other. Then
so you don't know quite when.
Yeah.
That's a little exciting too.
So I don't like this game too much.
No, you don't.
I think it plays quick with 5 players, which is a positive, but I think for me it just felt a bit too random. It feels a lot chaotic not random but chaotic.
Yeah.
It feels like you never know when some of the scorings comes, and you of course are all like you can place, but in the beginning and sometimes just like boom, 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 you do 4 scorings and you cannot keep up. So I did enjoy my place of it, but not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a pretty good game, and if you enjoy Suneva's meanings, you will check it out because it is a good game. Like, it is absolutely a good game, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, and there's some area majority in there with the scorings and stuff, so I think it's a neat game. And lots of things to like focus on, but main reason that I think it's worth checking out is if you're a larger group and you want a game that still plays kind of fast. Yeah.
I actually liked it better with like 3 or 4 because it was less chaotic.
Yeah.
Maybe by 5, I thought it was too chaotic. So I understand your point. Like, it's really it's a lot of game here for an hour, but I felt like if you get a bit left behind, it's hard to come back because it just steamrolls and starting to go really fast.
Yeah, because those scorings, if they're starting to roll, then
they will roll.
You need to keep up.
So I really enjoy the mechanisms here. I think we do still own it, don't we?
Yeah, we don't. It's up there.
It's up there somewhere. Yes. So yeah, probably we should try to play it again with like 3 or 4, see if it's still.
Yeah.
I would like that. I might enjoy it more then because a couple of last time we played with 5, I kind of like went like this on it. So yeah.
I don't think we've tried it with 2. If it goes to 2.
I don't remember.
So we could try that.
I think it's probably more interesting with more, but we'll see. That's just speculating.
So your number 10.
So my number 10 is a game which is number 2,567.
Oh, okay.
So this week, we didn't. Like the last when overrated games, I went from the lowest to the highest. I didn't do this time. This is more like Sunniva did last time with the thing I'm most excited for, which was negative.
Least excited for the last time and most excited for now.
That you should play. So my number 10 is a game from Emperor S4. It is a small little 2-player game called Shadows in Kyoto.
Oh, cool.
You haven't played it.
I haven't played it,
which is really sad
good
because
things about it.
the copy we have is broken, and because one of the meeples are broken, and in
the
most
game
games,
is broken.
this game is broken. Check that podcast out. It's really good. I don't need more promotion, but it's good. Check it out. This is a neat two-player game, like a back and forth, and with some bluffing, hidden information. And because one of my meeples is broken, we can't play it, because then you can play it. I can basically play it with you once. And after that, we can never play it again, because you will know which of the meeples have which information.
Okay.
Because it's stickers on them, so you cannot play, because they have different numbers on them, and like the zeros. If you try to assassinate the zero, then no, you don't kill them, I think. But if you try to take out the zero, you lose, and if you take the 3, you will win. So you're trying to bluff that and move them into positions with different actions. It's an advanced game. Haven't played that, but it's a really great two-player game. I've heard Hana Mikoji, the other two-player game in the same kind of vibe, is even better. Haven't played that, but that's also a lot more higher rated. We have it, we bought it in Essen, just haven't had the time to play it.
I'm excited for that.
But Shadows in Kyoto is like, if I find a cheap copy, I would buy it again, because I really enjoy the gameplay and I want to play it more. So right now I'm like, when I see it, I'm like sad, because I know I can't play that copy. And probably I could contact Emperor S4, but when I got this a couple of years ago in Essen, it was kind of impossible to contact Emperor S4 because they had no online presence. I think they're better now, so I will try to contact them and maybe they will send me a couple of new meeples.
Yeah,
but that's my number 10.
Neat.
That's Shadow in Kyoto.
Cool. I have nothing to say about that. I really want to play it though.
Yeah, I will contact Emperor S4 and we can see if we can get some more meeples.
Nice. My number 9 is also in the 2000s area. It's in Spa 2524, and it's Architect. This was my top party
Top
games
10 party games, yeah.
As well. I think this is a blast to play. And it's so fun to watch. You're these architects in this stone age, and you're trying to build these figures. And one guy is the architect, so he knows the architect, and the other is the builder. Yeah, so he knows what you're going to, your team is going to build. But you can only like instruct the other player, who is the builder, by smashing in on the head with this.
No, you say different commands.
Yeah, that's true.
If they don't follow the rules, you will smack them in the head with their stuff. Because giving commands with that would be really hard.
That would be
like
really
if I smack you in the face, you will do this. So you're saying like different made-up words.
Yeah.
Which means move up, move forward. You're basically programming.
Take the red one, take the blue one. Yeah.
It's super stupid game.
But it's so fun.
It is actually,
really fun.
yeah.
So if you're looking for a silly party game, you should check this out. This is like perfect for families, and also I imagine this would also be fun with a little bit like in a party actually, because it's super silly.
It is.
And it surprised me that it was so low. So check it out.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know if it's possible to buy anymore, because it was like an older. I think it's an FFG game. I don't remember.
Yeah, we don't own it ourselves.
No, we don't. We just played it at a cafe like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Because we heard about it so much, and so it's like, oh, we're gonna play that. It's a very fun one. It's stupid and fun. So if you're into that, which we are sometimes, it's a great fun.
Yeah.
Architect. Okay, so we're doing. I think this is going to be a good list, because I have my list. I don't know your list, but my list is a lot of different kind of games.
Yeah.
So we're going from a two-player game to a co-op game.
Oh wait, you really are.
I have a co-op game. So that pause. If you're new to the channel, you'll be like, okay, so what? I don't like co-op games. This is number 1367, and it's Flip Ships.
Oh yeah, cool.
Which is a super cool flipping dexterity game, co-op game, where it feels really like a kind of a video game space game, where you are trying to basically flip these ships. That's the name of the game, Flip Ships, onto different cards that you have on the table, and you also have to kill the mothership by putting or by flipping them into the box, which is pretty far away, and it's super hard. So you're trying to kill all of the aliens before they come down. You kind of like a Space Invader, where they move down like the old Space Invader game. It really feels like that, and different ships have different abilities. They have different ways to attack you, different ways that you can attack them. Like some have shields, which shields the others around them, so you have to attack them first. Some have 2 lives, and so on. And also you're going to have special abilities for your ship, and the more damage that Earth takes, you're going to get more powerful abilities. So you basically want to take a little bit of damage to be better, but you don't want to take too much damage, because then you will lose. It's a super fun game.
Yeah, you're going to take damage, and that
Yes.
is not a problem. And this is super fun. I'm horrible at this kind of dexterity
Yes,
games.
you are.
So it's super fun to play with me. I'm just like, boop, and it's 2 centimeters. Yeah, yay!
But then
Way
you get
to
a new
go.
take. If you don't get it far enough, you will get another round.
That's
so you
true.
can do it again, and then you don't get it again.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's Flip Ships.
it's a great game. It's super fun.
So let's go with your next one.
It's number 8. This is ranked quite high. This is a broken rule, guys.
Bum, bum, bum.
And number 8 for me, we ranked it like the most underrated game. So this is kind of...
You ranked as the most underrated game?
No, the list goes from like the least underrated to the most underrated.
Yeah.
Right? And this is maybe one of my favorite games on this list.
Okay.
But since it's so highly
it's
ranked.
not like super.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
It's the Bloody Inn.
Okay, cool.
And I really like this game. It's a card management. What kind of game is it? It's multi-use card, and you're like managing this inn,
The bloody one.
and you want to make money, and then you're killing the guys, but you can't take the money before you bury him. It's super thematic, and you have to watch out because the cops are coming and checking on you, so you have to have enough spaces to bury people in, and then you earn money, and also you can't have like too much cash on you, so you have to like put it in the bank to score more, because money is points in this game, and it's over super fast, so you really have to manage and see what you're going to use your cards to, because you can build like graves with them, or use them for their abilities, or just buy them and hire them. It's a really hard game. It's difficult to be good at.
It's super tight.
It's super tight, and it's super fun.
tight.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it should be higher, but it's still pretty high.
Yeah, it's still pretty high, and it's still talked about, but a lot of people don't like it because of the theme, and I can see that, but it's like you're not feeling like you're killing people. It's not like, oh no, I flipped this card over, now I choose to kill him. You don't feel like you're killing someone.
No.
It's not like a video game where you shoot someone in the head. It doesn't feel like that. It's pretty cool. You can like bribe the cops to be on your team, and you can do all of this pretty crazy stuff. I actually enjoy it.
I will choose this theme before like trading in the Mediterranean. This is original. This is cool.
But then again, I'm happy that Concordia is not about moving around on the map and killing people.
Yeah,
That would be like,
we need both of these.
In this game, you're playing cards to move around and kill people. Then you will settle new houses where you will bury all the people you killed.
Yeah, but it's kind of absurd that you need to like bury them and give them a proper burial before you can steal their money.
It's funny. I enjoy the theme of this, and it is macabre, and it's a fun theme.
And the art also is really dark and weird.
Yeah, but not horrific. It's just dark.
Like a little gloomy.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun game.
It's super fun.
So that is the Bloody Inn.
Yep.
My number 8 is actually number 920. So it's my highest ranked game.
I need to see if
you know
that is
it.
one of mine. No.
It's not. Okay, it's another co-op
That is
game.
a spoiler.
It's
another
co-op
co-op game?
Yes.
What?
It's another dexterity game. So it's almost the same
Okay,
thing.
yep.
It's Dungeon Fighter.
Yeah.
This is a game I love. We haven't played it in many years, but it's like a super fun game. It's so hard. It's so frustrating. It's especially playing with you. I still like you, but you're not good at these games. I'm not super good either. But it's like, and a couple of these moves is just impossible. This is a dice throwing game. You're throwing dice. You are a super stupid hero in this super theme. I love this theme. Like, I'm not super. I'm not usually super into team, but here it's super fun. I'm saying super a lot, but it's a super game. You are a superman or a superwoman doing super things with dice. You're trying them superbly good under your legs or over your head or blindfolded, or you have to balance it on your elbow and drop it on the floor. Not on the floor, that's what you usually do. But you're trying to hit a target which you're trying to kill enemies with. Super fun. I think you should get it if you haven't played it. If you need like a game that will get you lots of laughter, if you need a game that you will laugh so much and you will get frustrated and you will play a lot of times. Play this like back to back to back when we used to play it. Super good game that I think you should get. It's Dungeon Roll. No, it's not.
No, please.
Dungeon Roll is not. Dungeon Roll is a horrible game.
Dungeon Roll is really overrated. It was lower though.
It's not overrated. Just nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
So it's not Dungeon Roll. It's Dungeon Fighter.
Yes, Dungeon Fighter. Don't confuse those two.
Two different
Dungeon
games.
Fighter is really fun. This was one of the games I also like looked at on the way, like, and I'm just like, oh, that is really low. And this is one of the games that it's fun to play with people that aren't into board games.
Yeah,
also,
you don't. Yeah, you can
because
play
you
with
just
anyone.
like start and you're all on the same theme, and yeah, you can be good at this but horrible at other board games. It doesn't matter. It's just fun, and you're probably going to die. Yay!
There are some rules. There are like you can buy equipments to get better and get special abilities and stuff like that. But it's not hard to learn. I would play this with almost anybody.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Dungeon Fighter.
And my number 7 is in spot 1175 on Borgen Geek. This is a heavy game. This is a game that hurts my brain like enormously. It's a Forge War, and this is
By
like
Isaac Childress.
yes.
Might have heard about him. Made a small game called Gloomhaven.
This is was this his first game?
Yes.
Yeah, and that is
Which is crazy.
that is crazy. So this first you have these guys that goes to get resources for you, and they're mining in this like grid, and you have to like think how you move people around and what you're going to need.
It's basically, hey, that's my fish.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a mini game of that.
Yeah, and then you're building like buying equipment and like getting ready for battle, and then you're battling, and that is when my brain melts, because this is the timing aspect with like the different levels on the battles that you get into that you have to like clear each round.
Yeah.
And that is super hard to manage and super hard to do well in this game, I think.
Yeah, you have to plan like really far ahead, because some of these have like 4 or 5 levels that you have to go through these quests, and you have to do them every round to be able to continue doing them. And it's like super tight, because you do that one thing, and then it's a worker placement phase where you have one worker, you do one single action. And you're doing so few things and trying to build up your space of heroes. You can be Rado in this game.
That is quite fun.
Yes, you can. One of the heroes is Rado, which is pretty funny. And it's super cool. And you have that. This is a really long-term planning game, which is really usually for me hard.
Yeah. And when you're just like, oh, the first level was fine, but now I need 2 new types of weapons to go against this guy, and next turn I need another. It's so hard to, and then you maybe like, can you have more cards at once? I think you can.
More of the quests?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then you have to like balance 2 of those, because you can't. Yeah, okay. But the game is great.
Superb.
If you want something, if you're a heavy gamer, you should check it out if you haven't already.
Yeah, and it's so fun to see, like, he went from making this to making Gloomhaven. He has to be like a crazy genius.
Yeah, I think so.
Because to make that as his first game, a super heavy, big, crunchy game with so many different things.
I like hope for like my self-esteem that he has like 1,000 like demos in his basement that nobody knows about.
Yeah, probably just burned all the prototypes.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, that's probably, you're probably not going to just sit down one night like, yep, let's make Forge War.
Yeah, it's superb.
So my number 7 is number 2327 on Borgen Geek.
Okay, let's see.
Which is a older game, but we got a Kickstarter version of it a couple of years ago, like an upgraded version, just the art and stuff like that. It's a Japanese game called Nerva.
Yes.
Did you play this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, because remember that I played a lot with other people because you were living somewhere else.
It's my number 12.
Oh, so it
it
was
didn't make
almost
the
on the
list.
top 10. Yeah. Super, super cool tile-laying game. Like every round you're going to place 6 rounds, I think, in the game. You're placing out tiles, and the amount of tiles coming out in the market each round is going to be random, because you have these end of round tiles. So one round might be like 4 tiles to buy, other rounds might be 8 tiles to buy, and it's going to be so different in how the rounds work. What you're doing is building this town, this city. You will try to activate these tiles by placing a residence somewhere, and then you will activate all the tiles in that row, and then you basically blocked off that. You can never place anything more. You can place stuff around it, but it won't do anything, and you cannot activate that row again. So maybe then you made a great row, you can activate it from the other side, but then you cannot activate that again. So you're trying to build up these rows, doing it at the activating at the right amount at the right time, because you only have X amount of these activation tiles, the resident buildings, and you're gonna try to not use them too fast, but you're not gonna hold them too long either, because then the game's gonna be ending and you haven't done enough. And it's super cool game, trying to resource management, building the best city to be able to score the most points. So great game.
Yeah, I agree. This is really fun, but it's so like I think this is kind of unique with the way that it makes you think about things.
Yeah.
Because you want to like have this amazingly good row, but then you can only use it twice, and you haven't built up for the rest. So should you go like for the balance and try to make a lots of like medium good rows? I think that aspect of it is really fun and cool.
Yeah, I enjoy this one quite a bit. Would love to play it more. Still own it, of course, because it would be strange to have the games on this. Yeah, we sold it 5 years ago, didn't like it. Hopefully
but
not.
You should check it out.
The rest of your games you've sold, like, that's
We're
be strange.
only making this list because we need to sell some games.
Yeah, so buy these games from us, please.
Yes.
That is my Nerva. Super good game. I think you should check it out.
Yeah. My number 6 is a game we played recently, and this was the first time we played it, and we almost played it 2 times. Do you know what it is?
We played it. We almost played it 2 times.
Our second time playing was cut short because we did a horrible job. It's number 947 is Crisis.
Aha!
And this is like a worker placement game.
Yes.
And it's kind of a semi-co-op thing. Not quite, but it's a city in crisis. And if you don't score enough points, the city will like go to
Go bankrupt.
Yeah, and then the game ends for everyone, and there is a winner. I think even yeah. So I think you won.
Yes.
The super short round we did.
Yes.
But it's super tight because you're building like this conveyor belt thingy of what do you call it?
Different companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That you need some energy and resources to make another resource, and then you can either sell it for money or points, or you can convert it into another company and use it. And you also need workers to work on those companies. So, yeah, it's a good game.
It is absolutely fantastic. I think this might be underrated, but this is one that actually gets quite a bit of buzz. Like a lot of people,
nice.
a lot of people are talking about it. Like not a lot of people, but people are talking about it. I know Paul Grogan really likes it. He talks about it quite a bit. I heard it quoted from him.
That's good.
I actually ended up buying 2 copies of this because I made a mistake.
You liked it so much?
No, I made a mistake and I bought twice.
Yay!
And I sold one. So we did sell this game, but we also own it.
Yeah.
It's super good, super tight worker placement game. It has some really nice mechanisms that I love, that making the engine kind of that you're talking about, and choosing to build buildings which gives you points, or choosing to sell the buildings, or sell the different
resources.
Yeah, what is really cool is that every round there's a scoring goal.
Yeah.
Which is what makes this the economy of the city go up and down, or the country go up and down. Because if you reach that scoring goal and go over it, that will push the economy upwards, but then the other players who might be under it will push it downwards again. So you're trying to go over that scoring goal all the time to be able to push it up so you won't lose. Also, there's events in the game, and the worse economy it is, the worse events are coming out, and it's just super thematic. Feels really thematic for a Euro worker placement game.
Yeah, and also you can select what level you want to compete on, so you can make it hard. That's what we did, I think.
And it went horrible.
It went horrible, or you could do like a normal or an easy.
Yeah.
Have an easy time. Yeah. So it's less of a chance that the city will go bankrupt while playing.
That's Crisis.
Yes.
My number 6 is number 991 on Borgen Geek.
991.
This is another really different game for me. Like, it's not like a heavy Euro game or something like that. This is a game I heard about really early because there's a pretty prolific guy who made this. It's a pretty famous guy who made this game. It's called Tom Wassel. He made a game called Nothing Personal.
That's right.
Which is a game that I shouldn't like because it has a lot of backstabbing, it has bluffing, it has wheeling and dealing. I enjoy some of those, but this is just like a perfect mafia game. I have played this. For example, I played this with my brother. He grew up playing Axis and Allies, Magic the Gathering. He wouldn't enjoy this kind of dry Euro game that I'm usually into. This he just loved because you can get into the theme, getting to the characters, getting to like the backstabbing. And I remember playing that with him and just having the best time because it's so fun to play something that, and I've played it with many different people that usually don't like this kind of games, and we usually enjoy it. It is so great, like trying to move up into the family, trying to be the right hand of the mob boss. I don't remember the name of the boss, and trying to score points in that. And it's just super fun. It's so many years since I played it, but I think there's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, there is a new version coming pretty soon. So that might give it a new life, but I absolutely recommend playing Nothing Personal, even maybe if you don't enjoy these kind of games, because there is strategy here, there is depth here, but it's just done in a different way with some backstabbing and just fun and wheeling and dealing and a great joy.
Yeah, I agree. This is not my kind of my kind of game either, but this was one of the in this genre that I have enjoyed the most. Moist.
I enjoy this moist, so I like it when it's soaked in water.
Yes, you can do that with this game.
Don't do it. So, back to top 10 games to not play in the shower.
Yeah.
Do not play Nothing Personal in the shower. It will be moist and destroyed.
Yep.
That's Nothing Personal.
But yeah, that was also one of the games that I like.
Looked at, yeah.
It's a great game. So my number 5, it's
5?
quite...
We're at 5 already?
Yeah, we're at 5 already.
Wow.
And we have surprisingly few crossovers.
Yeah, you thought we should have like 7 or 6.
Yeah, 6.
I was guessing 4.
4. So you can still do
but
yours.
So far we have 0?
Yeah. So far 0. That's...
It usually ends up being some crossovers in top, so we'll see.
My number 5 is at 1290 on Borgen Geek, and it's Wildcatters. And I was really confused when I looked this up because I was just like, this has to have like a second edition that is higher, and it hasn't.
No,
that surprises me because this is a cracking good game.
But there is like it's strange because there is a second edition and it's quite different. But
yeah.
I think they're the same entry on Borgen Geek.
Yeah, I couldn't even find it.
I think there's the same entry because but the second edition has changed. The one that we have has changed some of the scoring rules.
Yeah, because I remember we talked about the second edition when we got it.
Yeah.
And I was like confused that it was only one like slot on Borgen Geek and it was so low. Yeah, it's in the thousands. It's still pretty high, but it's low because it's a great game. It has some limitations because this game is best at 4 players.
It is a 4-player game.
Yeah, you can play it with 3 players. You get a dummy player that works okay, but I think it's best with 4. And it's like drilling oil and taking advantage of each other's actions with like hitchhiking on some other drilling oil and also delivering oil to others and your own I don't know.
Not infirmary. Refinery sounds better. Infirmary is in hospital. That would be hey,
so close.
Somebody need some oil here?
Yeah, English is not my first language.
Not giving blood, you're giving oil. That would be strange at an infirmary.
Wait,
yeah.
We don't need this.
Isn't infirmary? Isn't that where they put babies?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I don't know.
Please let us know in the comments. What is an infirmary? We probably have Googled it before you watch this video, but do it because it makes comments.
Yes. I don't know why you would need oil there, but you need it in the refinery.
Yes.
And then you can get money for it or actually get points later in the game by like the area control.
You get the shares.
Yes.
There's no money in the game, is it?
That's true. I
is it?
think.
Oh.
No, it's just shares. You pay everything in shares.
I think you do.
Yes.
Which is kind of money.
Yeah.
In another way.
Yeah. Because you take loan and then you get more shares to pay.
I think so.
Don't you?
Yeah, let's not talk about that. People will be angry.
Yeah.
If it's wrong.
Yeah. But you can either get like more shares or try to get actual points with this like area majority thing.
Yeah. And what is interesting is that you get shares in not only your own shares, but other players' colors as well. And you need all of them to do different things in the game.
Yeah.
I actually have enjoyed it with 3 players with a dummy. It works very well for a dummy. It works superbly good for a dummy. Still, I would rather play with a person than a dummy, even though I might be a dummy when I play this game. It's a super hard game, and I've talked about this on this channel before, but it is the first game where I really saw that I could enjoy direct player interaction.
Yes.
It's not like combat, it's not like, haha, I'm killing you, but you will screw each other over here. You will block each other. You will try to do the best you can for yourself. And one thing that I thought about, like you said, this is kind of lower. One reason that many of these, of course, heavier games are lower is because there are fewer heavier games playing these games. So I think like if you are a heavy gamer, you probably heard about this. But other than that, like if you want a new game that is a lot of player interaction and it's heavier and longer and you need a great game for 4, it's superb.
Yeah, check it out. But yeah, absolutely. Some of these games are low because they're played by fewer people. Yeah.
So my number 5 is number 2016 on the list.
I know what it
Borgen
is.
Geek.
Yay!
I almost took another one from the same designer, but I took this even though I also had it on my top 10 heavy games. That is Small City from Alban VR.
Did you include the other game of his?
No, I didn't.
That is Card City XL?
No, absolutely not. That is a good game, but not good enough.
But it's pretty low, that also.
But it was Tramways. Which
Yeah,
is
of
like
course.
his other best
I
game.
had
Might be
forgotten
Clinic,
that.
but only played it a couple of times. Just
Yes.
right now, it's super good and hard, and I'm super bad at it. But but yeah, I really enjoy Alban Miard's design. So this is basically, if you enjoy heavier or medium heavy games and upwards, and you haven't played Alban Miard's games, go and get them all.
Yes.
Clinic just was released as deluxe edition, so you could probably get that soon. I think it wasn't just a Kickstarter thing. He's not usually doing like a big thing, but you might get it from his website. He has done Town Center, which is like a smaller but still brain burning, like a 20-30 minute game, which is super good. He has Tramways, which is kind of his take on an Age of Steam, which is really, really nice. And Small City, what I'm talking about now, which is a beast and super cool. I talked a lot about the top 10 heavy games, so this is a plug. If you haven't seen that, go and see that, where you can hear more about Small City.
Yeah, absolutely great game. It's blows your mind and a little extra. Yeah.
My number 5, Small City.
My number 4 is I've cheated a bit on this one too. This is also higher than 1,000, but
so this is number 300 on Borgen Geek.
My number 4 is ranked 945.
Okay.
And this is a game from 2017. It's Riverboat. And this is one of my favorite games from 2017.
Yes.
I've enjoyed it to bits. I think about it now and I want to play it. And it's like that amazingly perfect weight. You don't like have a hard time getting your head around it, but it's so meaty even though, and there's always something to do. Even though, okay, maybe you didn't get to do exactly what you wanted, you do something, and you have this like strict action that everyone's going to follow with building these landscape tiles on your board to get resources or have like resources available, and then you're using those resources to build boats.
Riverboats.
Yeah, and you're doing this to get scorings, and you also like choose your own scorings, and it's super fun.
Yeah.
And I think a pretty low for a I thought it was more popular than this.
Yeah, like the thing that happened with that, he made like 16,000 games in 2017. Azul, he made this, he made
wasn't it just 3? It just
Heaven and
3.
Ale. I think maybe it was actually 5. I don't remember. Like there was a couple more he did work on, not alone, but
that's a lot of games.
Reworld. With the other, I don't remember what.
That is also pretty low, I think.
But Reworld wasn't so good.
No, this is better.
But Riverboat is good, but it's like I had a couple of similarities with Heaven and Ale, and Heaven and Ale got more. People like that more.
The guy that moved that you needed to move to get things.
And I like Heaven and Ale more, but I like this, as you say, it's a perfect weight.
Yes.
It just feels like you're playing the game. It just feels like a nice walk in the park for me.
It's much easier to get to the table than Heaven and Nail, though.
Even though Heaven and Nail is also super simple rules, it's just like exploding head.
This is perfect. It's a perfect school night game. What do you call it? I don't know.
Yeah.
After work. It's
after work.
I don't know.
After hours. I don't know. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Riverboat. My number 4 is gonna go quick, so it's gonna go back to you. It's 1290 Wildcatters.
Wildcatters. Cool.
So top 3 underrated games. It's kind of a different list. Like it's good to talk about good games. We kind of fell down after talking about bad games. Now we're talking about good games because they're good.
And my number 3 is in space 600 and...
It's in space. It's a science... 600?
1600.
Oh, I was like, what?
And 39.
Okay.
It's Power Grid, the card game. And this is... I like Power Grid more. But this is a simplified version that goes up to 6 people and doesn't take that long time. And it's simpler rules, so you can play it like as a semi-gateway or next step game. And I think it's super fun. And I think it's, it should be higher. I really hope it gets higher because I want this game to be played by a lot of people because it's a super way into a little heavier games.
Yeah.
And it's super accessible and it's one of the card games that is like the perfect version or like card version of the original game. I think.
It feels like absolutely. It feels like Power Grid, which is good.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 3 is number 1720 on Borgen Geek. It is Lingam 2nd edition.
Yeah.
So the first edition is even lower. This was also on top 10 heavy games list. Another plug, go and watch that if you want to hear more about heavy games. This is the most brain-burning game I know. It's the one that melts my brain the most. So of course it's going to be lower rated. Some of you might say like, oh, this is not underrated. It's just not played by many people. But still, it is a game that I think deserves more. I think it deserves more players playing it. Even though if you're playing like heavier games, Capstone of course made a new edition which makes it easier to get. I love Capstone, what they do with reprinting these kind of heavier games for more people to enjoy them. But I think you should go check it out. It's a super good game. Number 3, Lingam.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a super cool game. So this is also a crossover. It's a small city.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 is small city.
Yep.
Okay. So my number 2 then is the only game I have here from 2018. It is number 2153 on Borgen Geek. It's a super cool heavy game that I think that more people should know about, and it's called Prehistory. It wasn't like, I think there was a Kickstarter for it and people thought we got it in Essen and we played it. It's like, wow, this was a huge surprise. Didn't know too much about it. And other than it was like a heavy strategy game and it was super good. I really enjoy this game. You are a prehistoric clan. You do these different actions. First you do them one way and then you do all the actions by choosing them, and then you do all the actions by paying different resources. Then you're gonna move on a board to get resources to build to build campsites. And it's just so great. I love this action selection here where you do that I love that when you take cubes to do actions, and those cubes are cubes you own that you can use later in the game, and you get resources that you have to spend to move around and to build, and it's just so much stuff going on here. It has a kind of a bad rule book, like it's a bit hard to get into it, and it doesn't look like the best game in the world, but it has some great artwork, and it is a superb, really great game. So if you have the chance to get this game and you haven't played it and you enjoy these kind of heavier games, I highly recommend getting Prehistory because it is a super cool game and I really want to play it again. I really want to play this game again. Sometimes it's on the shelf up here in the living room, which means it's a game I want to remember that exists. It's a game I want to play. It's Prehistory, my number 2. Dos.
Tres, cuatro, cinco.
I don't know more languages, so it's that. I do know Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish, but that would be just stupid.
This is a gem. This is... I'm a little sad that I haven't played it more than once.
Oh, you haven't?
and I really want to play it again because I loved it. And it's what you said, that really interesting action selection thing is like what makes the game worth checking out. It's so unique, and it gets you hooked, and it's so clever. And it really makes you want to think about, okay, I want to do that action, but I don't need that color. Could I do this in a different way to get the best outcome? This is a super clever game that I just want to play. So yeah, check it out. It is from 2018. So that's the only reason why it isn't on here.
And you might still have a possibility to get it. Yeah. My number 2, Prehistory.
My number 1, this is also crossovers. So how many crossovers so far?
I don't know. No idea.
Wildcatters, Small City, and Lingam now.
Okay, cool.
Second edition.
Yeah.
It's just a beast of game, and it's so heavy, and it's so good, and you just have to check it out.
So I guessed 4 crossovers.
Is it 4?
That means that I should just say one of your games to be correct, right?
Yeah, I think you should.
So my number 1 is then, let me see your list.
Architects?
My number 1 is then Forge War.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
it's my number 1. My number 1 is Forge War. I was just, we played Gloomhaven. I'm pretty sure I played Gloomhaven before this. I heard about this game. I got a chance to buy it pretty cheap from one of my online retailers because people didn't buy it because they hadn't heard about it. I think I saw Rado talk about this game. I didn't see anything about the game. Bought it and I was like, wow, this is good. And it feels like it's not like a perfect design. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's very good. It's very heavy. There's a lot of great stuff going on there. And you can play it, it's a very long game. It's a super long game.
Yeah, it is.
You can play it like the shorter version, which is good, like an introductory game. But playing the whole thing is just amazing. And I know I'm feeling in my body that I really want to play this game again.
Yeah.
Like to play that whole thing. It's not like The Colonist long. It's maybe like 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours to play the whole thing. But the planning and to be able to pull out of those big quests after all that planning just feels so good. I played a 2-player once with one of my friends he's just like, he loves playing games. He's coming here like a weekend, couple of 3 times a year. He loves playing games, but he's like, oh, I never win. And he really remembers the games he wins. And this is one that he always talks about because he did this super cool quest to kill a dragon. And he just managed to pull that off so perfectly. And you feel like you're really pulling off these combos, pulling off a long-term plan, which feels amazing.
Yeah, it's a super game. It's amazing. And you were right. I hate when you're right. This is
with
not
4.
good. Yeah, you
with
4.
Yay!
But this was a good list because you had so many interesting choices that I didn't expect to meet.
And the lists are more interesting when it's not like 8 crossovers.
Yeah,
so even though we usually have the same kind of taste, it's good to be able to do this and be different, be able to have different lists.
Yeah.
So that is the top.
It was super fun.
Yes, it was. As always, it's fun to do top 10 lists. I like lists.
Yeah.
That's the end of this video, right?
It is.
That's the end of our top 10 underrated games. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. That means a lot. And that's it. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.